Cynthia G, where are you on this?
The only war is the war that Black men are waging against the Black community.
So is that a yes or no?
Yes, there is.
Are made up of institutions or the lack thereof. Communities are governed by systems or the lack thereof. Let us be very clear about something. This fratricide, this black on black crime that so many of our brothers are engaging in, let us remember Irish did the same thing. Italians did the same thing. European Jews did Italians control of the fire departments in the Black community, gave the Irish control of the police departments in the Black community, and gave the European Jewish immigrants control of the civil service municipal jobs that they still control in many city centers today. That I'm making, Tammy, is that America gave Southern European immigrants an economic stimulus package. Before they gave that economic stimulus package to Jews, Irish, and Italians, they were doing the exact same thing Black men are doing today.
I feel like when you can name all of these things so eloquently and so beautifully, and yet y'all still fail at being able to do these things after years and years and years and years and years of trying. War that we're fighting for Black men is the one that Black men are fighting within themselves.
Because in the 1960s, what Black men were really doing, and it's been documented, many civil rights leaders have admitted to it, what Black men were doing is chasing the white man's woman. What Black men were doing is chasing the white man's woman. Men, it's usually being brought up when there's a Black man like R. Kelly, Bill Cosby. We see Trey Songz going through it, Ari Spears, when they engage in some degeneracy, and then they're getting the consequence for it. And Black men think that because they perceive white men to be getting away with crimes, they want to be able to get away with crimes as well.
Hear Sister Cynthia speak, you can hear a hurt and a pain and a hatred towards Black men.
The Black man says, listen to me or fail. Right? As if Black women have nothing to contribute to that. And I think that that's where the problem is. That's where the discourse needs to happen, is how do we work together so that with me following you with my head down and saying, yes, that's our master, because that is me being subservient to you in a way that I might not want to do, especially considering if you do not have the credentials.
Kind of a second-class citizenship role for Black women. I believe Black women have as much to offer as do Black men, so I'm not sure who the Queen is referring to. Because I am not a misogynist and I do not support that type of narrative that said the Black woman's position is only to have children and to prepare food. But at the same time, I think Black women have to look at themselves, because although white supremacy has been the greatest enemy of the progress of Black men, you would also have to argue that Black women have probably been the greatest accomplice to supporting the white power structure.
As a doctor of clinical psychology, I'm referring Cynthia G to the Association of Black Psychologists for some post-traumatic relationship dysfunction. But that's my sister, and I love her. I'm not going to disrespect. Tammy Mack set me up. Tammy Mack, I love Tammy, that's still my sister. I love Cynthia. We are about to shock the world. I'm just out here trying to get the school done. HVAC is in order. We about to shock the world.
I want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh, and double honors to the elder apostles and even the elder bishops of Great Millstone. Honors as well to you, brethren. Shalom to the elect. So anyway, I saw this video yesterday before I saw the clip that Yashawamba put up on Dr. Umar Dr. Umar Johnson. So this guy said he was set up with some trans stuff. I don't know. But anyway, this crazy, and what happened was a trans man was representing the sisterhood. I don't know. This is crazy. But I want to go up here into a lot of what was being said, and we're going to go into some words and some scriptures, okay? Because Cynthia G, said that the black community is destroyed because of black men. I don't know why or who would sit here and on a panel with this woman in itself. That's crazy. I don't understand why Cynthia G, the other middle-aged woman that's being a bad example to the other young woman that hasn't come up right. I don't know why they just don't go get white men or some foreign men. Notice they stay away from so-called Mexicans and Puerto Ricans, right? They claim they have to level up. I don't know. But I don't understand why they always complaining. Get a white man, go on the island, and live your life. Maybe they already do got white men. Maybe they're set up. Maybe they're agents to help further destroy the so-called black community. Also, we can also see how these black women, these Eves, are portraying that the black man is destroying the community. That's true, but they won't go into the source. And then they won't even go into the fact that what they're doing, what happened to all those children, those squeegee kids and those drug dealers on the corner and those gun toters and shooters and these wild black men, right? They were babies. So who raised them, right? And since the black man is not around, since he's so destroyed, why don't the black woman step in and help raise these young men, at least to the best of their ability, at least not to be drug dealers and gangbangers? It seems to me they don't care about the young black men either. Seems to me they hate so-called black men. And that's prophecy. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which will not adventure to set a sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward her husband of her bosom, and towards basically her children, right? Her eyes shall be evil. And we can clearly see this. Then this woman says she doesn't want to feel like, being in submission, basically, subservient. She doesn't want to be in submission, right? Let's go to 1 Peter. This is the dangers of Christianity and how Christianity, it says the Old Testament is done away with. This is the dangers also of the black conscious community and the black conscious community, all linked with the Black Lives Matter community, and also the black Israelite community. All black Israelites, all Israelites are black. They got a woman's chart. They feel the seed can mix out from other nations, but be mixed back in by black Hamitic nations. So we could see the weirdness and the wildness and all these crazy ass doctrines, man. Right? And this is the sickness of Sadnetter and all those brother polites who doesn't stand for what they believe and go on and teach all these young men to bow themselves and grown men to bow themselves to these black women who really don't respect you. Anyway, 1 Peter 3 and 6, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, right? Calling him Lord, obeyed him. You see how this is not working. What's happening is men are fighting back against the oppression of this system. You got two fights going on, as Dr. Umar like to say, the systemic oppression. But you have two fights going on. And the glory that we normally should have beside us isn't there. This is why the elect is standing up. This is why the elect is decided, right? The Israelites, the men of the Lord, have decided to stand with Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah instead of women. Now, the women who are supporters of us is beside us, right? The women who support us, as in the ancient times in the Bible, there were women who were supporters. You're going to have women who support us, right? And be beside us. And that's all the concern is. The elect of men, right? Starting with the 144,000 the other men, the women, and the sons and daughters. That's our only concern. Let's look up this word obey. Right? Obey, it means to carry out commands of, to submit to. Now what's crazy is the people who claim to be of the Holy Land, or other people in the Middle East and several other people in Eastern culture, they understand this to a degree. Western culture don't understand that. Now all that mess that they're talking, they won't say, well, this is wrong for all women, but they'll leave that alone, right? They don't have nothing to say about the rest of the women around the world who is having, in a majority, greater relationships than Western cultured women. This is the worst and the worst of the worst place to try to be in a relationship, especially when you got these women psychologists or whatever you want to call them sitting there practicing the same behavior to other women. And then when you raise up a group of young men in that same mindset, that's why you get the simps. And then men like us, we push the different narrative and we become hated. This guy, Tom Brady, supposedly, allegedly, wanted his wife wanted divorce because he wants to continue his career, because she's washed out. But now let it be, and they had, nobody has an issue with it, but let it be reversed. Let them say, look, you can't continue modeling or we're going to get a divorce. He'd be all over the tabloids, understanding that this society is against you jakes. And the worst thing you got going against you is not only this man of the system, but he set up taskmasters or mastrates to come against your ass, man. First of all, the black community is not a community. Commune means to be in one unity, one mindset. The black community ain't in the same community, right? And this is the dangers of angry middle-aged woman, right? So let's go on to obey, to carry out commands, to obey, to be obedient, obey, to subject, to listen, from to do, okay? To be ruled by. That is what a woman's supposed to be. But somehow they changed the narrative of a woman being one flesh with a man and in the same unison, but her being a helpmeet to him and him leading. They have a problem with men leading. But then when stuff get in bad situations, the woman want to flick on the switch and tell a man to come up and step up and be a man. But once you done stepped up and did what I wanted you to do, I can flip the switch back off and you go sit back down in the corner. So these women, these Eves, want you jakes to be controlled robots. And they're confused because this man has set up a system that allowed them to behave that way. So there's a part of them in their spirit that wants one thing, but their fleshly carnal mind says something else. So another word for this is submit. So let's look at the word submit. It means to place under control of another, to yield oneself, to yield, to lower thyself, let down, put under, to reduce. And you see why Jake is starting to pack up and leave Babylon to try to get a better life, or at least a better chance at some form of relationship. Because there is no way that Jake, well, we're under this curse, but there's no way that Jake should subject himself to the mindset of that. And anybody who does, after we done taught you, you deserve exactly what the hell you get. Let's look at the word woman. The word woman means, this is all online etymology, by the way. The word woman means female servant, a wife male. And female really means feminine male, like feminine man, like mankind. When you deal with mankind, you deal with man and woman. So it's the feminine male, right? Which means the feminine of the side of man. Where's that softness and femininity at? And then we have a society that speaks on feminism. Well, isn't feminism supposed to be dealing with femininity? But nope, not at all. Not at all. And this is crazy, man. Let's go to Ephesians 5 and 22, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands. This is what Paul had to go through. Because this is nothing new. And you had the queen of heaven that wanted it that way. Right? There's a lot I can't say in the video, so I'm just kind of rolling through it. And there's reading some scriptures, 1 Corinthians 11 and 8. Right? This is, also she goes into R. Kelly, Ari Spears. Well, what you got to understand is they are still all under the banner and the authority of this man in this system. And this guy, Dr. Umar, let me, through the Spirit speak on him. He said man and woman can't do it alone. We have to build black communities together. He's talking that trash to try to keep the women interested and keep sending money to them damn black ass schools. Because if he admitted to what he probably really feel, he would have a lack of funding. And where did he get his psychologist degree, or wherever he got it from? He got it from you know who. That was the only way he's going to get it. So he's still under some authority. This Cynthia G talking trash about the black community, the black man. But she was the same one under the reincarnation in the past that probably helped do those things to help set that up, man. What about Black Wall Street? When Black Wall Street was destroyed, we wasn't in any power, and we're still not in any power. But instead of Eve trying to console us in the condition of hell that we're in, nope, Eve wanted to separate herself all of a sudden now that she's being funded, because that's all it is. They're all funded, man. This is why they are all set up, and Eve is nothing but an agent. Whether it's involuntary or voluntary, she ain't nothing but a damn agent. Now all of a sudden, black men ain't doing nothing because they're doing well. Now when we wasn't doing well as so-called black men, and the black woman was under us, we still, on the majority, took care of our women, and we had someone or something to console in us, man. But now we don't have any of that because Eve now took the bag and shot off to the top and ain't got shit to say to you now. That's why when Jeremiah 4 and 30 happened, I'm going to rejoice in that day. All those wicked Jakes too, you wicked Jakes, you wicked 2/3, you wicked Eves, you're all going to have to deal with what's coming, man. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 11 and 8. And it's all because you don't want to deal with Scripture. And this is why they hate us for reading this Bible now, man. And now they're setting up other agents and these Idumean Christians, like this guy Winger or whatever his name is, to try to rub all that off and say it's not about man being over woman. Sarah obeyed Abraham, or woman, wives submit. They're trying to change the whole doctrine now. Why? Because they're setting Eve up to destroy you Jakes. And you Jakes are destroyed, man. But that's not going to happen with the elect. That's not going to happen with the men of the Lord, man. For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. It's just simple. As long as you don't follow the way the Most High set it up to do, guess what? That's going to be nothing but destruction and tyranny and all kinds of evils going to come upon you, Jakes. And you Eves that's sitting up on high, because now you can look down on Jake and you can say, hey, I got a job. I'm a career oriented. You see them. They ride by you, be on the street in your car. They'll ride by you and give you that look and roll their eyes like they're just so much better than you. They don't need you no more. They got toys. They got this or that. Enjoy yourself. My question is, why the hell are you mad? You shouldn't be mad. If you've got away from the black man, you're doing better than the so-called black man. You're doing great in society. The white man has loved you and supported you. What the hell are you so mad about? That's what I don't get. They should get on the beach, go move into a foreign country or land, and be happy. Well, as Eve just can't be happy, man. And when Eve not happy, she don't want Jake to be happy. And this guy, Dr. Umar Johnson, see, he's not going to wait on the Lord. And that's why he's going to perish in his iniquity. He's not worried about the Lord. he really thinks somehow black people going to come together, get together. This man got arsenal and weapons from World War II that would destroy your whole blocks and community. He can't wait on the Lord, man. He feels through his mindset he's going to fix the community and take everybody money and build the school that's been being built for the last 10 years or so. I don't know. And that's not going to be under some governing authority of this man and his system. Somehow. We ain't seen nothing from Black Wall Street and everything else that happens. Jamestown, and whatever else this man has conjured up to destroy our people. That's all I have on that. Shalom.